everybody to Launch Lab. Nice to have you here tonight. Um,
Leadership.
doing so many calls now. I apologize. Leadership Lab is Launch Lab is Wednesday, so I apologize. My fault. My name is Aaron Cadu, and I'll be your host tonight, along with Alex Sabatili-Rager. And we do have a special guest tonight with us also, Jill Boeing. So excited to have her here. She's been working with Alex in past projects before, but they're going to come on. She's going to come on and help us with talking just a little bit about mindset and how to get your business right. So this is your first time on the call with us, just so you have an idea. We usually we do this call once a week, the Leadership Lab, and the idea of this is to build a community where taking you from your team manager and getting you to director. And the idea is just to create a community where you can come on and ask in questions and get the support that you need from Alex, and if I can fill in there too, I will. But just helping you really build your business. And so the first part of the call, for the first 10, 15 minutes, we're going to be talking about mindset. And we really encourage you, if you're on this call, please share, ask some questions, because that's where we really get really good dialogue going back and forth, and diving deeper into the things that you guys need to help with to build your business. So let's jump into it and talk mindset tonight.
Perfect. Awesome. Welcome, everybody. Thanks so much for being here. And actually, I would like to say, and thank you for that introduction, Aaron, that, I was just speaking with somebody today from a sideline team who was looking for some coaching and who wasn't feeling fully supported. Not that the person who brought her in didn't want to try to support her, but she just really wanted more and more and more, and was feeling like, oh, I'm not getting the support I need. And oh, if only I had signed up somewhere different. And I'm like, no, 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 no. There are no mistakes. There are no mistakes. We are exactly where we're supposed to be. And however you found this was exactly the divine timing and the placement where you're supposed to be. So I just want you to let that be good. And I let her know, I said, hey, we do these calls Mondays and Wednesdays specifically so you can get the coaching you might want to get that you may not feel like you're getting with your engagement and with your asking questions. This is what we're exactly here to do, so that we can dive deep into the things that are going to support you specifically that you may not be feeling like you're getting necessarily, or that just fill in the gaps from all the incredible training we already have on Build 331 and in the calls that are being done and that have been done in the past. So I really hope that you all are feeling fully supported. If there's anything that you need, that's what the chat is for. That's what the, Facebook is for. I'm terrible about social media and Facebook. So, I'm relying on Aaron and Melissa to pull those things out of there. But certainly you can always, you can private message me on Facebook and I will get your questions that way. And I can always add them to these calls. So I just want to preface that you are exactly where you're meant to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't
Alex,
you think?
quick point with that though, because I think you've mentioned this before, and it's come across even with Melissa, like people being within it and just not getting the information they know. And I think you said it before really well, is like, if that person's not helping you out, go to the next level above them. And then if they're not willing to help you out, go to the next level. But exactly like you said, this is exactly what these calls are meant for. So
Exactly.
you can find the support here.
Yeah, thank you. And yeah, I just don't want anybody to feel like they're missing out or place the blame on their lack of being where they might think that they want to be at this point in their business on somebody else. We have to take personal responsibility to step up and find what we need and to ask for what we need. And so that's my call out to you guys, especially here on Leadership Lab, that you've already made it to manager, or at least that's the framing of this call. You're at a manager, solid, and you're moving towards director and above. And now you're getting ready to start modeling that for your team that's growing and inviting more people in and growing your teams. So we have to step up and take full ownership of our own business. It's, so much is done for us. We just need to learn how to be really great communicators, really great supporters, and to be able to lead people to tools that they need so that they can be successful. And then everyone has the same opportunity. So yes, there it is. So there, the little slap on the hand. All right, so tonight I was thinking mindset, because we all have the same tools. Why is it that some people can get really far and other people can't? It has to do with that communication, that mindset, and that building of our own beliefs and what's holding us back. And it really does take a little bit of mining and coaching and asking the harder questions of, why am I not getting the success? Or where am I really good and where am I weak? Where am I strong and where am I weak? And how can I build those different skills? And so when we're getting started, we can really ride on enthusiasm. We've got a whole list of fresh people and we're excited. And depending on how we come in, whether it's with a silver pack, we maybe upgrade to gold, or we go all in with a diamond, it does influence how you start your business. And this is all like I didn't write any of this down as an outline. It's just coming through. But I do want you to know, and we did talk a little bit about this last week on another call, that if you come in and you're kind of dipping your toe in the water, you're like, well, I'm not really sure, we'll see, maybe I can upgrade, and that does affect your daily method of operation, your level of enthusiasm, and it will affect how you position the offer for new people to come in with you, because most of the time we won't invite people to come in at a higher level than we have. We're going to pretty much duplicate ourselves. And that's fine, totally good. Just know that ahead of time, that if you come in at silver, you're not going to be bringing in diamonds. It probably won't work out that way, because people will do what you do. So if you do come in at diamond and you haven't yet, come to a place where you feel confident to bring in other diamonds, that's another thing. You're going to be skin in the game. You're probably going to have a lot more motivation to keep trying, and you're going to learn really fast. And you may or may not get that success, but knowing that ahead of time, I think, is also important. And we spoke with Alana last week about this on Launch Lab on Wednesday. So that would be a good call to go back to in the playlist on YouTube, Wednesday last week with Ilana, which was, well, today's the 12th of January. So if you're listening to this in replay, it was the week before that. So again, back to mindset. The focus on manager is how we come in, right? So we're looking for 2 silvers on each side, helping them to get a nice, solid silver. So we might have more than 2 silvers on each side in order to really be a solid manager. And we're bringing more and more silvers or above in as we go each month, each week, each month. So whatever that goal is, we talked about that again last week. Coming into this point, now we're starting to put the hat on of, okay, how do I really want to run my business day to day moving forward? And where am I strong and where am I weak? And how can I kind of figure that out? And this is where you want to get on a call with your sponsor or on a call here, and you start asking the questions of like, okay, here's where my challenge is. Here's where I'm finding a little stop. How do I move forward? Is there training that I'm missing? Is there some place where I can get this training? Because what we're going to find is that the things that are being reflected in our outside world are what are literally our own stops in our inside world. As within, so without, right? It's a natural law. So if I'm having blocks in people wanting to, or maybe people aren't getting results, and nobody seems to be getting results, and this is not uncommon, whereas other people, everybody's getting results. What is that? Why is that? Is there something in the way I'm asking the questions? Did I not get results? Is there something I was expecting when they started? Have they gotten them on some extra copper? So there's something to mine out there. There's something to kind of play with. And I know that this has happened with a couple of my people for a little while. It was like, I'm not getting results. I can't share. And then their people don't get results. And so it literally duplicates. As within, so without. Other people, I have this miracle, and then people are throwing canes away and they're getting out of wheelchairs. Like, what's that about? Right? And it's the same thing. It's almost like what you expect seems to be what manifests. So what can you own of your own? If you're feeling a block in your business, what is that? Is it people don't feel like they have enough money? They think it's expensive. They're not getting the results that they want specifically, or they just aren't getting any results at all. They're having a hard time getting on auto ship, or something, whatever that block is, get present with it. Get on whatever training that you can to learn about it, and really put a mirror up to yourself. Have I experienced this? How did I get over this? How can I get over this? Is there coaching that I can get? Is there something that I can ask on a call like this to help get, kind of walk through this? Is there another way to see it? Start getting really curious about that, because as you're moving forward into, higher levels of this, you want to have a higher closing ratio, and you want to be able to start seeing these things in your team so you can support your team. Because when your new person comes in and they're like, oh, I'm really excited to do the business, but for some reason, it feels expensive. And then people just keep saying that. When you've actually gone through that yourself already, maybe not the same exact issue, but something, and you've learned how to come out of that block, and it's changed your business, you'll be able to lead your people in that way as well. So I think that's really important. And that's kind of what I wanted to talk with Jill about in just a moment. I'm going to throw it to you really quick though, Aaron, and see if you have any thoughts or feedback on that sort of thread.
Yeah, I actually think we should repeat it every time we have our calls when we talk about the copper piece and the hydration piece
I know.
because
The
and
foundations, right?
I know we kind of harp on this and we don't I think it should be the opening thing is because
Every
people
time.
actually once you remind people to do these little things like drink extra water and add the copper supplement
Right.
and then
Right.
actually even be mindful of the amount of zinc that you're taking too, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't
Yeah.
think people understand how much those two things really actually help
Yeah.
really affect the patches. Like
Yeah, they really do.
it's
Okay, so we'll just take a little side note on that. So we
yeah.
have to remember that what these patches are doing is they're helping our body with energy, obviously, and with a reset with the genes to be able to act younger again. However, just like a cell in a petri dish, what's in that petri dish? The medium that the cell is in is what's going to highly dictate what's going to happen, right? Just like putting a fish in dirty water, how's that fish really going to do, even if it has great genetics, if it's got crap water? So we have to really inform our people, how is your nutrition? We don't have to be nutritionists, right? But are you getting the foundations? It's really important that you get copper. Copper glycinate is a really, really highly absorbable, uh, form, copper glycinate, and 2 to 4 milligrams is what David Schmidt recommends. It will be in the supplements that he's making that we'll be getting. But right now, I've been encouraging that as soon as somebody orders, I say get copper in your body. Most people are taking zinc, and zinc and copper are kind of on the same. I guess I'm not sure exactly how it works, but I know the more zinc you take, the less copper is being absorbed. So you really do, and most people are taking zinc because they don't want to get sick and because of the whole pandemic. So you want to not necessarily lower the zinc, but you need to up the copper in order to counterbalance that and make sure that we have the copper there so that the GHK can bind to it and create the results that these patches are supposed to do. But of course, lots of water, right? Our DNA is made of water. It's crystalline. We are energy, and water is such a part of that. And it holds information, it transfers information, and we've got to have lots of water. And then, of course, essential fatty acids are amazing because they are what build the cell wall. And so we have to have our good omega-3s. So there's some basic foundations that are important if somebody's complaining about not enough collagen or their joints are hurting. These are things you can learn about in some of David Schmidt's videos, right? I'm not telling you need to know all these things, but go on to lifewave.com and look at his videos, watch the ones on our own channel, because you will really learn a lot that you can help support your people with in terms of some of these foundations, having enough vitamin C and collagen in your body if you're going to want to produce more, around the joints and for pain around the joints. We want to produce collagen. We got to have some of the basics in there. So educate yourself, and we're going to talk to Jill about this too, because that was something that was really important for her to feel a confidence to get out and really start sharing and creating momentum, was being able to answer some of these other questions and feel like she could really support her customers. So thank you for bringing that up. Yes, there are some things that are going to help our people get really good results. And yeah, I think I kind of said what I wanted to say here. I think one other little point in terms of coming into Leadership Lab, and you hit manager, you're a solid manager, you're looking at some of your weaknesses and building up your strengths, and how can I get better at the things that I'm good at and better at the things that I'm weak at. And I think just setting a daily method of operation is really important. And we could do a whole call on that, how to carve out time, how to help our people carve out time so that we can create a nice, comfortable pace that's individual for you, that fits around your schedule and what your goals are and what seems reasonable. And so let's earmark that for another call, but that's something I want you guys to be thinking about. And if you have questions around that specifically, we'll definitely dive into that. So any other thoughts? And then we'll bring on Jill.
No, let's bring Jill in.
Okay, cool. So Jill, if you want to go ahead and come up on camera, I'm going to go ahead and just do a quick little intro. So Jill and I met in the last company that we were in, and Jill was like so knowledgeable. She was like, she knew everything about this product and these protocols and all this stuff. And like, she was so excited and getting people results, and kind of blew me away and really like kind of roped me into her enthusiasm. We were not on the same team. We were sidelined to each other. And she was just like a powerhouse. And so when we reconnected, like, I don't know, a couple of years probably went by, maybe Jill, maybe 3 years or something. And then we reconnected. And of course, life changes, right? Here we are both like, we were successful in the other thing. And suddenly we're both like, okay, what are we doing now? Because that fell down. And so having Jill come in has just been such a joy because I know her and I know her spirit and I know her work ethic. And she's just really, really, really taking off right now. And so Jill she came in and she's the type of person who's like, I'm not going to talk until I know what I'm talking about. And so Jill, I want to just welcome you to this and just invite you to share your story in coming in and kind of whatever your hesitations might have been as you were leaning in, because now it's been maybe 3 months and kind of how things are building up. I just want to give you the floor.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. I think it's going on 4 or 5 months, but I'm sitting here, I'm like, okay, keep talking. So, because I get so nervous talking. So you're saying, don't build me up because I have like, I'm like sweating over here. I'm like, oh, it's okay. It's going to be okay. So the best thing I can say, and I was talking to Alex earlier, and I thought to myself, it'll never come out that fluid again. And I already said it, but what Alex said was, yes, I've been in another company. I knew all the science inside and out over 8, 9 years, and I could like recite it, while I was sleeping. And then you start something new and you get nervous, and I get intimidated because I want to be the person that can come on and answer anybody's question, right? So I'm like, I have to learn about all of this. I have to have a full testimonial and come at it. And it was just different. So I was intimidated to think I had to learn all that. And then soon, what happened? I'm like, I'm not feeling anything. I'm not feeling anything. Not to give a whole background, but I've had 5 neck surgeries. I've been through a lot. So I was like, if this thing works, this is going to be huge. And as I started to feel better, I noticed I started to want to do more. I started to want to talk to more people. And Alex is like, I don't do a lot of social media either. And Alex is like, well, just get on the phone. And I'm like, talk to people? You want me to talk to people? So I just soon was like 2-3 a day. I was doing the 3-3-1. And then one day I was cleaning out my phone contacts, and I'm like, I did like 20-30 people, and it just got to be really fun. The better I felt, the better I showed up for people, the more I wanted to talk. And I just like, I don't have to know everything. The more I was relatable and just shared, here's a few things. I was a hot mess. My body was going through a lot. They were like, oh, well, and I said, I can't explain it. I'm going to butcher the science, but I have a link that my friend showed me. Just look at it and, let's chat later. And that has been working, and it's been so fun because it took that weight off of my mind of I have to be knowledgeable and know everything about the science, So the better I felt, the more phone conversations I had, and it literally snowballed and was such a natural progression. And I'd text Alex, I'd be like, oh, this is happening. She'd be like, so excited because it's just fun when you take that pressure off yourself, that you don't have to be the scientific guru that invented it. I'm not David Schmidt. So like, relax. So I'm talking to everybody that's in my phone. I have so many contacts from my other business, and they're like, Jill, we trust you. You don't have to go into it. If you like it, we'll try it. So I'm at the point now, Alex, what you guys were talking about is now I need them to just go tell a lot of their friends, or like last week I missed, but I was watching the replay of you doing, I'd be happy to do that, not in a presentation form, but have 5 people in the room go over it and, have their undivided attention and say, now, does anybody have any questions? Let's talk. Right. So that's what I'm looking forward to, getting to that. I want to get to director, and I want to get my people so excited that they're where I am, right? They're where I was when I started, and they're like, okay, I'm sleeping a little more. And I'm like, just wait for it. Just wait for it, So that's really what I have to say is like, just don't give up, because my body was in such a bad place. And the only variable I changed was this patch. And all of a sudden I was looking at the tracker and I was like, well, this is better and this feels better. And I haven't changed anything. My sister and I'd be like, gotta be the patch. So we just kept doing that. And now here I am 4.5 months later. And yeah, I don't go a day without it.
Jill, can I ask you a question? When you're connecting with people on the phone, how are you starting the conversation? Like, are you texting before, asking if you can call, or what's your process?
I've gone through some trial and error. So Alex and I worked on this little text. I started with, just to get people's attention, right? Hi, how's your new year going? What's new with you? We haven't connected in a while. And people would come back and say, how are you? That would lead into my story because people know I've had so many surgeries. So they're like, how are you? And then I was doing the whole, I'm doing so much better now. My friend recommended this patch. And I just would say stem cell patch. And most of them were like, I need it. I can't do this, this, and this. But sometimes if it's somebody that I'm really familiar with that, I don't know, I just feel like I can do it another way. I go right to the source and I'm like, the text that we have Alex with, it's like, and I can put it in the group or whatever, but I'd have to look at it real quick because my brain just went, I can't believe you're speaking on camera and I feel like I'm on TV or something. But something to the effect that I have something that's really been helping me. I think it would resonate with you also. I don't want to waste your time. If this is of interest to you, let me know and I'll quick send you some info. That has gotten more people and they're like, what is it? I know you've been through this, send it. Or they do call right away and I jump on the phone for 3 minutes and say, let's not get hung up in the weeds. How are you? How's your family? You got to check this out. And then they usually, like, people that I don't think are going to do it and respond are the ones that are like, here's my credit card. And I'm like, that's awesome. So yeah, it's fun when you get people that are excited about it. So
yeah.
But I just get the sense that you're doing it very authentically though, too, right? Like you're not pushing this big sales job and knowing all the science. I think that's half the piece there is it's relatable. Even if you did know all the science, I think most people don't understand the science to that degree that it kind of goes over their head. They need to absorb it slowly to really understand, right? So I think your process is very genuine.
Yeah.
I'm so not a salesperson. And I think my biggest thing is the person over here going, are you sounding salesy? Don't sound salesy, because I get in my own head about that. The one thing I drip on people, because I just make it very relatable again. So I go, I don't know if you knew this, but I am learning so much. By 30 years of age, half our cells are lying dormant. By 60, they're all dormant. And that's why we get old and disease creeps in and we shrivel up and become like prunes. And people are like, oh my God, I didn't know that. I wonder if that's why I have X, Y, and Z. And then they go, well, I'm 64. I'm almost dead. Okay, then they get a little bit more interested in it. Because I had a 40-year-old, he goes, oh, well, mine are still okay. And I'm like, but don't you want to get ahead of that? And what are the 1 or 2 things in your health right now that you wish were improving? And then they list them and I go, well, here, watch this link. And then they're like, okay, how do I get it? Right. That's just how it goes.
Yes.
And I want to share too, and that's excellent too. That was a line that that's one of my favorite things. If there's 1 or 2 things you can change or improve about your health, like what would be the top of your list? That just rolls off my tongue all the time. I love that thread right there because it tells you exactly what's going on. What I want to share is that so Jill, like me, is like I have to know the science just to know the science, not to regurgitate it. And I think I've said in past ones before, I do not expect or want anyone to try to speak about the science like I do. It's probably my biggest handicap, honestly, is that I know too much about it. I get too excited. I can sell it to anybody without a video or without a website, and it's not duplicable at all. It's a total crippling of my business growing because nobody sees themselves doing what I do. They never feel like they know enough or that they could be as good and all that stuff. And I'm not saying I'm great. I'm saying that's my bad. That's my bad. And I don't ever want anybody to do that. And that's why I do the calls, plug them into the calls. And so for Jill, it was the same thing. I was like, what do I say? I need your answer. And it's like, no, you don't. You just need to believe for yourself. So you hold the confidence and the knowing deep inside, but then don't try to speak it. It's almost like the more you know, the more we try to say, and then it sounds salesy. And then we start pitching, and that's not what we want to do. So like in the beginning, there's this sort of beginner's sort of ignorance, which is beautiful, ignorance on fire. Then we start wanting to know more, and then we start trying to say more, and that's when we get stuck. So please, this call is exactly the time when that kind of stuff starts happening. We want to support our team. We want to have all the answers. We want to do the 3-way calls for them. It still all needs to just go back to the website or back to the calls that we do on Mondays and Wednesdays, where I can do that heavy lifting for you. And it's not up to you. It's to duplicate. Maria, we see you. We will raise your hand in just a second. So thank you, Jill, for reminding me of that too, because I know you in the beginning, you wanted to have all the answers and then you realized, no, I don't want to have the answers. And that's when your business started to take off.
And that
Yes.
link, the Start X39, now that everything, that link is just, it's golden. So let that tool do the work, because people look and, like you said, they don't think they can duplicate you, it's intimidating enough.
Mhm.
So that link is great. I have people that go, can I send this link to my friend? I'm like, absolutely. Share it to
Sweet.
another continent if you'd like.
Right, right. And those are the times when I want to say, if you send it to your friend, make sure you introduce us on text. Do a three-way text introduction so I can answer their questions. So you don't need to try to do that, because if you try to do it, then you're gonna get all tripped up and whatever. So that's what I'm here for. Always three-way connection text. I'm telling
I
you.
did that with my nutrition business too, and they got really good at it after I, said this is how we need to implement this, is I would just get a text, hey, Barb, this is my friend Jill. She's who introduced me to the nutrition X39. She'll take good care of you. But that familiarity of them dropping their friend in there makes a big difference, because no one's going to say, hi, I heard you do patches. I'm a friend of, that's intimidating. So then they just don't.
And there's an accountability built into the three-way text, because now it's like we're all watching each other now. There's witnesses. So it really does make a difference. So perfect. Okay, so it looks like we have a couple questions. Did you have anything else you wanted to ask? Erin, that you wanted to ask Jill?
No, that was great. Yeah, go ahead.
No, you finished, please.
No, I'm good.
So Jill, I think I'm going to have a couple more questions, but I want to tackle and see what we have from Maria had a question, was raising her hand, but stay online, Jill. I might call you back on. Just stay here.
Okay.
So yes, Erin, is there somebody, I think there was Maria had a question. She had her hand
Maria
raised.
had a question. So if Maria, either you can put the question in the chat, or you can just
I can ask her to unmute.
Yeah, I got her there.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay, can you hear my voice?
Yes.
Oh, great. Okay, well, greetings and thank you for the call. So I've been wanting to put a question in the chat, and the chat is disabled. So that's why I was raising my hand, and then I kept trying to unmute myself and it wouldn't allow me to unmute. So I was just
okay. Thank you.
So it's no problem.
Okay.
So I know a couple of people that are missing the call tonight. Where can we go to get the recording of this so that they also can listen to this? Because we all think these calls are highly valuable.
Go ahead, Erin.
Yeah, so there's the YouTube channel, which is going to be, it'll be posted there. All these past calls that Alex and my wife Melissa and I are on, they're all in there, and they're under Quantum Team under YouTube, and then all the dates are there. So tonight is the leadership lab that we do on Monday nights, and then Wednesday nights calls are on there also for Launch Lab.
Right. Yep. You just go under the playlists, and you'll find a playlist for Launch Lab, a playlist for Leadership Lab, and they're all different and they're all valuable. So like you could binge seriously, and there's so much good stuff. I'm actually really, really happy, Erin, that we started doing these. These are so great. I just love these calls. And so far, I don't think we've done anything duplicate at all. They've all been unique in some way, even though we need to cycle back sometimes on like the silver thing and the copper thing, but otherwise, no, they're super valuable. And so I'm hoping that the chat has been turned back on.
And did you have another question?
Well, I'm just going to see, I just wrote down that what I need to do is go to like Google and search for Quantum Team YouTube. It'll pop up, and then I can look to see the dates and where they are, and I'll be able to watch them. Is that how I do it?
Yeah, it's even easier if you just go right directly into YouTube, and then the search bar at the top, just type in Quantum Team.
Okay,
and then
that's what I'll do.
The Quantum Team YouTube channel will show up there. And then
I think, is it Quantum Team or Quantum Field Team? Actually, maybe our admin can drop that link in, please, into the chat. I think it might be Quantum Field Team, because I just pulled up Quantum Team and it is not ours. Field Team. There, is it? Did it just get dropped in?
It says Quantum Field Team.
Okay. Is that the one? I'm not able to pull it up right now because I don't have my regular YouTube up. I have it on my favorites. Basically, once you're in there, once you find it, you want to make sure you subscribe to it. So, and then
it's just Quantum Team.
Quantum Team, it is.
Yep.
So it's youtube.com is it /Quantum Team?
I'm in
It-
there
it's-
right now because I was watching the old one and I just have it as Quantum Team under my subscriptions. You subscribe and then you just get notifications.
Yeah.
It's
But it's not /
It,
quantum
it's
team.
actually here. I'll drop it in here. It is actual the name. It's kind of confusing. The
Okay.
the name is Quantum Team, but the actual URL is Quantum Field Team. So
It is
I'm just
quantum field
gonna
team.
put this in here for everybody, and then there's no question. So that's the link there, Maria, for you in the chat.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay,
good, I see
perfect.
it. Okay, thank you so
Thank
much.
Thank you, thank
No
you, thank you.
problem. Thanks for the-
And are you on the Facebook group? Because you should be part of the Facebook group as well, and that's where you're going to also find links to these things. That's probably where you got this link. It
Okay,
should
yes,
be-
I am on that in
Yeah.
Facebook.
It should be posted in the same post. You just need to scroll down and look, and you'll find those links. That's the best way to share these, by the way, with your team, you guys, is to grab the actual link of the YouTube event, send it to your prospects, because then if they hit notify, then they'll be notified when it goes on, and they'll also get the replay. So that's a really good way to share these moving forward.
Okay, thank you.
You bet. Thank you.
Sherry, I'm just unmuting you right now. I see you have a question.
All right, here we go. Here
Yep.
I am.
Hi.
Good evening. I have a challenge in that I don't like Facebook. I get so tired of going on Facebook and everybody's talking about their entire life. Like they don't have a friend they can talk to, but they've got to put everything in front of the nation, so to speak. So that's my challenge with Facebook. And yet I know that's where all the links and everything are. So how do I get around that? Because I know a lot of people do the social media, and I'm in the other group.
Yeah. The anti-social media. That's me.
me
Okay.
too.
I'm in the
So-
group of my cliche for my business card is over 80 and still fabulous. I'll be 80
Aw.
here.
Nice.
Beautiful.
And I'm working on building my business, and I've got a very high goal by convention.
Mhm.
And I've got some people that are suddenly really lit up.
Great. Okay. So my advice to you is plug everyone into Facebook, whether you like it or not, because they may, and engage enough to know what's happening. Just go in, get what you need, and go, and then step out. If it's not a place that you want to share what you ate for breakfast and all that, I'm with you totally. If it pulls you away, I get it too. But there's a certain relationship you need to kind of start to develop with social media. And if it's going to support your team, and if it's a place where you're going to get what you need in order to support your team and your own business, then those are just some blocks you might want to just kind of work around. That's what I kind of have to do. Because I don't really care to go there either. Once in a while, I'll just post a little something that I was inspired with, just to kind of like have a footprint there. But yeah, it for some people, it's like the way they build their business, and certainly Aaron and Melissa, that they're just so good at it. But you do need to engage enough to be able to get your people plugged in. So
Yeah.
that's what I have to say. But Aaron, you're more in it. So what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I'm kind of the similar way. Like I'm a more in person, but just to clarify, Sherry, are you asking where to get the links, or are you asking how to connect with people for your business? Which one are you?
How to get the links, because I'm really good one-on-one and
Yeah.
meeting people. I am not shy. I've
Yeah.
got a phrase I use the minute I meet someone, and I always find a way to say, well, what's my wording? When I got to 80, and then their jaws drop open, and pretty much I've got them, because though I'm a little tired tonight after Super Bowl last night, I am a 49er fan. Anyway, I just generally look like I'm 50, 55 max.
Nice. Nice.
But it's because of these patches, and I show them a before picture that I had taken by a friend 3.5 years ago, because I've been on them 3.5 years roughly. and they changed my life. I mean, at my, and again, 80 is merely a chronological age that we're given, but I can do this, just about everything I did when I was 50.
Nice.
After 3.5 years of using these patches, from being a former athlete and all the injuries and all of that, I just, I can do so much that
So,
it's difficult to stop.
so you win people over face to face, and that's beautiful. And honestly, I know there's so much you probably could do on social, but I definitely heard that you just need to get in there just to get what you need. But again,
Right.
if you plug people in, and even if you send your own before and afters to your people and allow them to share your testimony, that can also be helpful without you actually having to go in there, so that they can say, hey, this is the person who brought me in. I'd love to introduce you to her. This is her story. They could certainly borrow it if they like social media. You don't have to get in there, but just provide them with your before and afters, a little bit of your story, maybe a couple little testimonies. That can certainly utilize social media without you having to go in there. But being in enough to be able to find what you need is important, and to plug your people into it, because most people do use it. So you don't want to cripple them, even if your way is different. That's how it is for me as well. So yeah.
And then where are the links? How do I?
So do you,
What-
for the next call, as soon as this call's over, if you can hang tight for just another maybe 10 minutes, I'll be posting a page that has the YouTube page, the Facebook page, and all the goods. I'll be putting it up on the screen, so you can take a screenshot of that, and it just has all the URLs for you.
Fabulous.
Otherwise, you can go to build331.com, and you will find all of every way to get plugged in on build331.com, which is the team training site.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Do you have that URL, Sherry? Build 331?
Yes, I do. Thank you. I'm
Perfect. Yeah.
guilty of not using it so much of late.
Well, that's going to help your team. So make sure
Yeah.
you know what the tools are so you can plug them in, and
Okay.
then you'll duplicate. Otherwise, other people aren't 80 and fabulous, maybe. And so you want to make sure that other people can find the way that they want to share and do their business by plugging them into what we have available. And then we all can kind of create our own unique way of doing what we do, because we're all different. And that's why we share on this platform too. Like I do it one way, Melissa and Erin do it another way, and in fact, differently even themselves. Jill does it her way, and so on. And but so long as we all know where everything is, and we give everybody that sort of buffet, they can choose what they want to create their own thing.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for jumping on.
Yeah, Sherry,
You're
thanks for
welcome.
sharing your story.
Pleasure.
Deb's, a quick question. I've been talking to some physicians about this, and they want more info than I can provide. They're not finding what they're looking for on X39.com, for instance, is the wavelength of the patches. What is the wavelength of the patches?
So
Is
that is
there some
actually
more?
on the site. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just wondering, is there somewhere else where they can get more information?
I think one of the best documents from startx39.com is called the story of X39. It's a download. It's 55 pages. And it does talk about the frequency, how it works, what it is, and the fact that it's not the same as, say, red light, blue light, something that you plug into the wall that puts out a certain frequency bandwidth. It's very different in what it's doing, and it's explained in that document. So that document, again, 55 pages, download the PDF, send that to them. It gives them the science, it gives them all the references, it gives them how it works, what it is, even some of the other inventions he had that are extremely like, whew, wow, mind-blowing. And then also, David Schmidt does some sciencey videos that he's done before. So go to the LifeWave Facebook, I'm sorry, the LifeWave YouTube, and then also look at some of the interviews with David that have been done on our YouTube channel as well, on the Quantum Field Team YouTube channel, because there's some really great stuff in there too. And he does get sciencey there, and that's kind of what I've had to use for bringing physicians in so that they get those tougher questions answered. Yeah. But that document is huge.
Yeah, he says he shared the document with them, and they still kind of had answers So I'm just wondering, did that answer your question there a little bit more as providing them with the videos? Because David, as Alex said, David does go pretty in depth into the science on some of his YouTube videos there. So just let us know if you're having trouble finding that link. And
That's
then,
been enough for me to get people. And if they want to keep looking for what's not there, then they'll only find what's not there. So sometimes we just have to kind of let them do a little of their own digging.
yeah. Sherry, you had another question?
Yeah, can you repeat the name of that document or the video for physicians?
Yeah, the document is called The Story of X39. It's on
Perfect.
startx39.com. It's also in the past been called the Diamond Book. It used to be called the Diamond Book as well. So you might see it somewhere else called that. Yeah, it's great. It's the one that I print out and I have actually in a little binder. So when I'm out and about, if I want to go into a place, and
All right. And then someone mentioned to me that there is literally a book of all the different patches to use for certain things. It's like $50 somebody is selling, and yet I've heard good reports on that. What do you recommend or not?
stick with X39. Don't
Okay.
confuse the issue. But if you want to spend $50 on that book, you certainly can. I would much rather send somebody to a website and save the money. But that's up to you. I have printed out 2 or 3 pages from that PDF. I just literally print out like 3 pages to hand out. It's just literally a list of what GHK copper peptides do. And there's like 3
Fabulous.
pages in there. And that to me is enough to leave somebody and say, we're raising this tripeptide in the body. Here, check out what this does. And it's just 3 pages. It's not overwhelming. They don't have to open their computer. And that's something you can hand out along with your information if you wanted to print something.
And where do you get the
it's
3 pages?
inside of that same document.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Cool.
in that big document, but you just print out a few of the pages. So how are we doing on time?
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. And then Debs, I just put the link into the LifeWave YouTube channel in there where all the videos with David are there. So
Oh, great.
some good resources here, guys. Especially on the scientific side of
LifeWave Health video.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Jill, one
Yeah.
last, I wanted to tune in one more time with you because there was something that I just in rewinding back to some of the training and the mindset stuff. Jill, would you share if you 1 or 2 blocks that you may have had that you got over with a little bit of time or coaching? We talked about this before because in the beginning when you started, it was like, I'm not feeling anything. And I think they're expensive, right? Like, and that was exactly what was coming back to you is they're
Right.
expensive. And right. So I wanted to just show that and how you got over it really quick.
I'm not going to say it doesn't creep in, but I think a lot of it was when I was having bad pain days that messed with my head and my confidence. But I think for me, once I started feeling good, that made a big difference. And it helped me kind of remember not everybody's, because I have people that I've started in 3 days in, they're like, oh my God. So you don't want to yuck anybody's yum, as they say, because somebody might have a great story within a week. But I also got over the price thing because my sister spent $10,000 on painful stem cell injections into her knees and didn't really get any relief. And now she's been on the patches 3 months and her knees feel great. So I just kind of got out of my own way with that. And expensive is all relative, right? Somebody may think, $299 is pocket change. Somebody might think it's expensive, but I guarantee you for the price of a latte a day, I mean, people are spending money, and what is your health worth? So I'm much more, Alex, I'm much more energetic and confident on the phone now. And that comes through to people. So that's really what I changed, was just feel better, do better.
Yeah. So sometimes it just takes a little bit of time for things to show up differently. And, Jill had a business mindset. She kind of saw the opportunity. She trusted me. We'd worked together before, but had she just been a customer, totally. In fact, you know what? Jill was a customer.
The whole story, 2019, I would have been in it as long as you. And I fell and I broke my jaw.
Mhm.
and I dropped the ball. And then I connected with Alex this summer and I said, hey, happy birthday. And she was like, hey. And I said, oh my gosh, I'm a mess. And she was like, hey, what about those patches? And I was like, oh yeah,
Oh,
gotta get
right.
back on those. And that was
So,
it.
yeah. So, yeah. So you never know. So you just never know. And sometimes it takes a little bit more time. And the fact that she came in and trusted me, came in as a wholesale buyer first and tried it out and with an eye on the business, and stuck it out and asked me questions and the follow up. It's huge. You never know who and when and how. Things will shift and change regardless of what they may say or what blocks they may have. Anything can change. And that was really what I wanted to bring home today, is to not give up on your customers or your reps if they're not getting what they want, or they feel a little blocked, or they're frustrated, or what have you, because things can turn on a dime. And it's just that regular communication and mining out what is working. How can I help you with what's not working? What can I get you to help you get over that thing or whatever? How can I support that? Thankfully, Jill was, she was more than happy to send me voice texts, and ask me the questions. She was really forward about that. And I want you guys to do the same thing and encourage your people to do the same thing. Be in their back pocket for them. Be there for them and know where to send them and plug them in so that your team can grow and so that they will plug people into you. And that's how you're going to grow in leadership. And that's how you'll be able to really take your business to that director and above level, by being that support for them. You don't have to be a leader, but you can lead people and become that. By being that, just like, what would I want for support is what you would ask yourself, and how can I be that for my people? So that's what I want to leave you with today. And Jill was on 100% that person, right? Like, I had to meet her exactly where she was, whatever objections she might have, any frustrations and whatever highs and lows. And then suddenly it's like, bing, it starts clicking and it starts working. And she's like, I'm loving the phone. I didn't want to get on for 3 minutes. And now it's like, I'm on the phone all day.
Now
And
I'm answering the phone, which is incredible. I used to see people calling and be like, oh, I'm hurting, go away. And now I'm like, hello. Totally shift in mindset though. See, that's the difference. So
yeah. And Jill, I would say, is probably one of the strongest, oh, at least that I know of. Melissa might be, right there too, but, and actually, yeah, a few others maybe, but Jill is one of those who's just like, every day she's doing her business every day and has made time. And so we might bring her on also when we talk about that daily method of operation and how to like create that for yourself, to find those stolen moments and when to call and all that kind of stuff. I think that's going to be something else that we get to really share. So I think we're up on time for now. Aaron, do you want to take us home?
Yeah, guys, this has been a great call. Jill, thank you so much for being here. It's great to hear your story, and I really appreciate it. A couple of people have just asked where the link for this show is going to be. I just put it in the chat for you. It's going to be on the Quantum Field Team YouTube channel. It'll probably be up by tomorrow. Just look for the dates.
It's going to be up as soon as this is over. It's up.
Okay, it'll be up right after. I apologize. Yep. Sorry. And then if you want, stay on. Alex is going to give herself about 10-minute break, and then she's going to start back up here at 8 p.m. Eastern. And this is a great call for if you have anybody that, that's interested in the patches. This is a call that you want to bring people to. She talks about X39, and she talks a bit about the business. So it's a great combination of both. And she has a way of delivering it that's genuine and authentic. So definitely tune into that. And just as a reminder, we have the launch lab on Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern, and then again, Alex does her call right after that at 8. So thank you very much, guys, for being here tonight. Alex, Jill, really appreciate it. Great call again.
Super great, super great. And I'm going to go ahead and share that screen with the schedule and then the different channels, so you can take a screenshot of that or whatever you need to do. So thank you, Jill, so much.
thank you guys.
All right, bye, you guys. Thank you.
Bye.